Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you're able to hear me now and you're able to see me live. So we are doing the XAT decision making. I'm doing. Right at the start, I'm first of all giving you a disclaimer. These are solutions or my version of the solutions. So there might be errors inside this. There might at times be errors in my thought process, in the way I think, because this is not a 2+2 kind of situation. At the same time, I'll try to give you the logic for everything that I'm doing here, and also try to give you the logic for making sure that for also try to explain the logic for why I say that this should be the answer. Of course, as I said, that might differ from what my thought process is on individual questions, because decision making there is definitely some kind of subjectivity involved. Yeah, good evening, Moksha, Naman, Jatin. Hi, everybody. So I'm just starting this off. I'm starting with question 27 to start with. Sorry, 29 was it? Yeah, question 29. So I'm just going to share my screen. And I hope you can see this now. Pardon this small, yeah, I'm doing this for the first time on a screen sharing through Zoom on YouTube. So just want to make sure that everything is fine. Yeah, so we are able to look at this. So this one, I hope you've already read the case. So I'm not going into the case per se. I mean, we can read very quickly if you want. Maybe that will help us. Uh, that help us in. Where's my Zoom button gone? Okay. Yeah, we can discuss the answers, right? So Mr. Singh lived in a sprawling housing society, two part-timers and all that. The ring was lost and then it was found. So the key factor in decision making, when you're solving decision making questions, you are looking at two, three things. One is before you start solving. I mean, of course, you gather the case facts. That's one. Second is you have to look at the objective, who's making the decision, and the objective of the decision. Because many times what happens with different people, the objective of the decision might change, right? And with the same objective in terms of the situation, the person who's making the decision will have a bearing on what the answer is. So you have to be very clear in your decision making solving, that you are looking at one, you're looking at what the context of the case is. Second, you're also looking at who's making the decision and with what objective is the decision being made. So if you look at the first question here, Sharda was contemplating whether she should inform Vimla that she found Mr. Singh's ring. Which of the following considerations will best dissuade Sharda in sharing the information about the ring with Vimla? So those of you who don't have the case, I'm first showing the case across. So those of you who don't have the case and watching the video, for later reference in XAT preparation, because the video will be available for later students also. You can pause the video, read the case, and then we will look at the question now. So which of the following considerations will best dissuade Sharda in sharing information about the ring with Vimla? So she does not want to share information about the ring. So the objective here is that we have to find a reason why she will not dissuade, which will dissuade Sharda in sharing the information. So in this question, I think my answer is very clear. It should be one, because if this is true, that Mr. Singh will probably terminate Sharda if he gets to know that she has revealed this information. And Sharda, as mentioned in the case does talk about the fact that the case does talk about the fact that it won't be four, it will be 1 year. The case does talk about the fact that she needs the job and she's in a financially difficult situation. So if she has the possibility of losing her job, this is the best way. This is the best situation to dissuade her, or this is the best in consideration will best dissuade Sharda in sharing information about the ring with Vimla. I don't think there's any other close answer. Yeah, so I think this will be one. Let's look at the second one. Now, in this case, which of the following actions by Sharda will best help Vimla? So what has happened here? What has happened here is 2 months have passed, and owing to Sharda's improved uh, yeah, we'll try to share the PDF. I'm not sure how we share that. Maybe I'll just put the answer key as an image on the post of the video, and we'll also share it in our Telegram groups and etc. So what has happened is Vimla has lost her jobs. The key here is Vimla was dismissed from her jobs primarily because of the ring incident. So and I know that as Sharda, I mean, always think in the first person. So you put yourself in Sharda's place, that you are Sharda and you want to help Vimla in this case. So in this case, there are two answers that people are typically thinking about, 2 and 5. I think we can eliminate one, because that does not necessarily help Vimla. If you are confronting Mr. Singh, whether he'll go ahead and help Vimla or not is not going to this thing. So one is irrelevant. Informing domestic helps in the society, causing society about the finding of the ring is also irrelevant, because it's not the domestic helps who have done anything to Vimla. And of course, 4 is also not true. So between 2 and 5, 5 will help Vimla better than 2, because if you inform Vimla that the ring has been found and advise her to demand compensation from Mr. Singh for tarnishing her image, it is not really helping Vimla directly, because if she goes for demanding compensation, Mr. Singh might react in a different way, and it might just add to her negative image, that she is somebody who not only has been because Vimla has been informed about this. So Vimla anyway knew that the ring, she had not taken the ring. So when she gets to know that the ring has been found, and she gets that as a fact, it's not new news to her that she's not stealing, right? And the only news is that the ring has been found, and Mr. Singh was unfair to her. So him being unfair to her is also true anyway, right? So the best way to help Vimla in this case will clearly be 5. If you divulge to Vimla's employers in the housing sector, because she's lost her reputation as a thief. So the moment you inform Vimla's employers, the news will go around, because they were the people who actually led this assault, or this thing on Vimla, of removing her from a job, etc. See, the key is that in this case, Sharda wants to help Vimla, right? So A won't be the answer, because of the fact that if you confront Mr. Singh about concealing the discovery of the lost ring from the housing society residents, will Mr. Singh actually act on it? You are the maid at Mr. Singh's house, and you confront him, and will he really do anything about it? There's no guarantee that he's going to, just because you're confronting him, Mr. Singh will do anything about Vimla or do anything to help Vimla. So there's no guarantee that your confronting will create anything, right? Mm, DLR girl, why will Vimla's employers will trust on house helps because they assume house helps. See, that is something which is an assumption, DLR girl. It's not something which you can actually uh, conclude about those employers. I mean, they were there was a rumor about Vimla having stolen a ring. She was removed from by Mr. Singh, and then she was also removed by these two people because they heard that. So if they come to know across about the fact that the ring was found, they might actually go back and hire Vimla, and at least the reputation will come back. So I would go with 5 in this question as the best answer. Let's look at the next one. So the next one, the case says that the news of the discovery of the lost ring eventually became public. I'm giving these answers with a pinch of salt. There might be a few answers which I misjudge. That's always possible. So you can take a plus minus 2 3 on whatever score you're going to calculate based on my answers. But I saw that a lot of the institutes who have given answers have actually given very, very crazy, illogical answers. So I thought I'll do this video. So yeah, so यहाँ पे objective क्या है? So the lost ring has eventually become public. The domestic helps in the society were chagrined by the treatment method of Vimla, and the fact that the news of the discovery was not made public immediately. They wanted to ensure that they wanted to ensure that they would not get targeted every time. Every time if something goes missing. So which of the following policy options will best minimize the chance of employers suspecting their domestic workers of theft in the future? So I think in this case, one is very clearly the answer, right? I think because if the domestic workers, I mean, you have to think about the fact that we here the decision makers or the people who are the key stakeholders here are the domestic workers, and their objective is to reduce the chance of or minimize the chance of employers suspecting them of theft in the future. So the moment you have a daily search of security guards by security guards when leaving the society, then if there's some theft, it'll get discovered immediately. So they don't have a problem. I mean, this will have the effect of minimizing कि आप अगर बोल रहे हो कि मैंने चोरी की है, तो कब चोरी की मैंने, किस दिन चोरी की, मेरा तो रोज रोज सर्च हो रहा है, right? So I would go with 1 here in 31. Any other answers which you guys think is close? That's a different thing. See, the objective here is very clear. See, in decision-making questions, you have to freeze 3 things. You have to freeze the context. What is the facts of the case? You have to freeze the decision maker. From whose perspective are you looking at the decision? And you have to freeze the third thing, which is the decision objective. That's the most important part of what you need to freeze. So in this question, the decision objective is, no, it's not impractical because you have society guards guards in the society, security guards in the society everywhere. So the kind of society they are talking about, there must be a lot of apartments, etc. See, 3 is irrelevant because if you just give the current address and contact details of all domestic workers and you submit it to the housing society, how does that? I mean, you have to minimize what? What do you want to minimize? What is the decision objective here? You want to minimize the chance of employers suspecting. ठीक है. So three, can we remove three? Three is not the answer. And five also will not reduce suspicion. It might reduce, or it might put a filter on the employer. Yeah, I will have to publicly apologize if my suspicion is wrong. But that does not mean that the suspicion will not be there, or the suspicion will get minimized, which is why I would not go with 5 year. So I think one is a very clear answer here. If this act is done, then the chance of employers suspecting their domestic workers is definitely reduced, right? I explained five. Why not five? I explained Rohit. Why not five? I would think why not five is because yeah, it's because if I mean what five is saying is that there's a cost to the employer of false accusation. The cost is public apology if the domestic worker can prove their innocence. So hence, I might, as an employer, this might dissuade me from accusing someone. But will it dissuade me from suspecting someone? It will not, right? मेरे सस्पेशन को तो रिड्यूस नहीं करेगा ना. सस्पेशन के बाद मैं एक्यूज कर रहा हूं कि नहीं, उसको रिड्यूस कर सकता है. ठीक है. So the correct answer here, I would go with one in this case. Let's move on. There are a lot of more questions to do. So we will release our version of the answer key, and I'll be doing something on verbal also tomorrow. So abhi verbal mein, I have just solved it once. When I solve it, maybe I would get 7 out of 26 questions. I might have got 22 correct. But before I release an answer key with the responsibility that you guys will check your answers, I need to make sure that I am mostly sure of the answers. So last year I had done one where I had got everything correct in last year's verbal paper. I had not done the decision making, but let's see how many I get correct when it gets released. But there's a pinch of salt. I mean, अगर एक दो तीन चार क्वेश्चन गलत है मेरे तरफ से, because there's always a level of ambiguity in the way uh, uh, this thing in the way questions might be judged or might be reacted to by the question setter. So there's what logic he or she used in that question might differ a little bit between the logic that the question setter referred to and the way logic I'm using, right? So and XAT unfortunately does not have a window for where you can challenge questions. So let's see. So we come to this. See, the question is not about ring finding or not finding, Archana. The question is about future course of action. So that's not relevant in that third question. So let's look at 32 to 34. So ye case, those of you who have not read it can read this. You can pause the video later and read this. So, and Shalini has commented that was a reflection of, less a reflection of Nalini's performance and more. So what has happened in this case is that Shalini's comments deeply hurt Nalini, especially since they had always considered Shalini to be a close friend. So Nalini felt like declining the bonus, given the respect for her relationship with Shalini. So Nalini is thinking in her mind, I should reject the bonus. That's what she's thinking in her mind, right? So the question now is, which of the following reasons, if true, will best dissuade Nalini from declining the bonus? So I should reject the bonus. I want a dissuasion of this decision. I want a reason to dissuade me from doing this. So the key thought here is, what is the trigger? What is the trigger that is making Nalini think this way? It is Shalini's comment. Shalini's comment is the trigger that is making Nalini think this way. So if, I mean, we are looking for something that will make sense in the context that you should not be bothered so much about Shalini's comment. That is what we are looking at. So Shalini, known for making insensitive comment. Now, one of the things in such questions, when you're solving this inside the exam, this and even verbal, you have to have positive identification of answers and negative identification of answers. So when you look at one, this definitely reduces the impact of what Shalini has said and whether I should take a decision of refusing the bonus based on this thing. And part of the case is also the fact that she's working for 5 years, so she is serious in the company. It's not something where she is a short-term employee of the company, etc. So rejecting the bonus is something which is a very strong decision, because if you do that, then your future in the company will come at stake, etc. They might not take it very kindly when you do that, especially since the company only gives it to 1% people. So one looks positive. Two seems irrelevant. It is not relevant to, if she confronts her boss for some reasons, that might not be something that reduces the seriousness or the impact of her comment. Right? In a closed group, Nalini is the first person to receive the bonus. This again, this might be a reason for actually refusing the bonus, because she might not want the bonus. This thing. So this is again a negative answer. It's not positive for the answer. And very few people who are not considered loyal receive the bonus. This is also a reason for rejecting the bonus, not for accepting the bonus. So this is also negative. And this might be a little bit positive, but if I consider between 1 and 5, I would go with 1 in this question. Right? Yeah. So I will go with 1 in this question. I think that's pretty clear for me here. Let's look at the 33rd question. Or 33rd, the key factor is, the key problem Nalini is facing is the indifference of her teammates, right? After the bonus, right? And they began to perceive her as having a close relationship with the top brass, and they seem to be avoiding informal interactions with her, right? So in this situation, what is the objective? So Nalini wanted to rely on the support of her teammates, and what could Nalini best do to normalize the relationship with them? So the objective is to, what is the objective? What is the decision objective here? The decision objective is normalize relationship with teammates. And that happens with 5. Quants was lengthy, yeah. Quants was pretty lengthy. I'll do the quant solving also if you want. I can do the quant solving. I've solved the quants paper. Quants में तो कोई doubt नहीं है किसी भी question के answer के बारे में. So I'll do that. So I would go with 5 in this very clearly, because this is, I mean, the decision objective of normalizing relationship with team members. Some people thought about this dinner on a weekend, but dinner on a weekend is not something, तुम मेरे से बात नहीं कर रहे हो, मैं तुमको dinner पे बुलाता हूँ, right? So that is slightly far-fetched, right? Whether, I mean, will people come or not? They'll just say they're working in a metro or something. They'll just say it's too far away. I'm sorry. So it's more about directly addressing the issue. So 3 is also okay, but 5 is much better. 5 is much better than 3. 3 is also okay, but 5 is much superior in my view. Okay? And I'll be very surprised if they give 3 as an answer. And nobody going for 2, I hope. 2 भी बहुत ही vague है. ठीक है ना? According to assumption, why not 2? Okay, Moksha, I'll answer that to you. See, the decision objective is not to remove the rumors or not to stop the rumors. The decision objective is to normalize relationships with teammates. So one way to do it is, if somebody is spreading rumors about you, uh, you try to attack the source. Which two is doing? You confront Shalini and ask her to stop spreading rumors. The other way to do it is the direct way to do is directly approach the team members and talk to them openly, right? So I would think five is a better way to do it than two. Although two will also might have an effect on normalizing the relation, because if the rumors stop spreading, maybe things will get better. But I think five, between two and five, I would go with five in this case, right? But a different version, different way of thinking might take you to two. See, invite teammates for dinner on a weekend. आप मंडे ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे को काम कर रहे हो, आप सैटरडे संडे को बुलाते हो लोगों को, तब तक कोई तुमसे बात नहीं कर रहा है, कोई आएगा डिनर पे नहीं आएगा डिनर पे, क्या इट्स नॉट इन योर कंट्रोल, राइट? सो दैट्स, और डिनर पे आएगा तो बात होगी कि नहीं ये वाली, डायरेक्टली इश्यू को बात करो, इश्यू पे बात करो, राइट? सो इट वाज आई थिंक दैट वाज an option which was just there to confuse, right? और कितने लोग को डिनर पे बुलाओगे? टीम में 30 लोग हैं, 40 लोग हैं, 20 लोग हैं, पता नहीं, दैट टीम साइज वी डोंट नो. So how many people will you call for dinner? How many will come? How many will you talk to? It's best to talk to them directly when you're in office, when you're facing that issue. Dinner might be the second follow-up action, not the first action. ठीक है, 34th देखते हैं. 34th में मेरे को थोड़ा डाउट था अबाउट द आंसर. तुम लोग बताओ, व्हाट डू यू थिंक वाज द आंसर टू 34th? कॉमन सेंस है ये सब. दिस इज, इसमें कोई कोई सुपीरियरिटी ऑफ लॉजिक एक्सेट्रा, मतलब सॉल्विंग स्किल्स तो नहीं लगता है, बट या कॉमन सेंसिकल एस्पेक्ट. जस्ट रिमेंबर टू थ्री थिंग्स. Just remember two, three things. Who is making the decision? What is the context? Who's making the decision? And what is the decision objective? Right? So my answer, I mean, देखो इसमें there is a, I mean, my answer was again two. If I have to mark for myself, I'll mark two. But देखो इसमें एक फैक्टर है कि डिसीजन ऑब्जेक्टिव पे डिपेंड करेगा. टू है कि थ्री है, बिटवीन टू एंड थ्री, राइट? तो हाँ, मैंने तो टू ही मार्क किया इसका, मैं अपने लिए टू ही मार्क करूंगा इसके लिए. बट decision objective पे डिपेंड. If the decision objective की you have to include Shalini in any case in the team, your personal growth and personal reputation in the company is not so important, but inside the team for the company you have to take Shalini in. So you will say कि Shalini को lead करने दो, let Shalini lead, and you will say this. But in this question they say best course of action for Nalini. So when you say for Nalini, then Nalini's own career and her own this thing, and she's got this project after 5 years of working. She's been raised raised to team leader of this project. It's an important project for her. So for her career, it's very important that she leads, right? So given that, two will be the right answer. But if the question setter has a perspective, if the question setter has a perspective that नहीं, मैंने तो ये पूछा था कि शालिनी को इंक्लूड करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए कि शालिनी का इंक्लूजन एकदम पक्का हो जाए, तो in that case three will be the answer. But so I marked this in my answer sheet. I marked it like this. My answer is two, but a 2% chance, a 5% chance that the question setter might take that interpretation and go for three. But I would still go with two in this. If I have to answer, I'll still go with two. Yeah. I mean, her success of the previous project is not so much of an issue about her being a team leader, right? So if you're appealing to Shalini to reconsider, I mean, it's also given that Shalini is a close friend. So two looks a very good answer, right? But I'm also giving you the thought process that a question setter might take, because he's saying regarding the inclusion of Shalini, right? So what does he mean by regarding the inclusion of this of Shalini? If he means, it's like, see, it's like, let's say, let's take a parallel example. Let's take Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Let's say Virat Kohli says, I will not play in the team unless I'm made the captain. And Rohit Sharma, in the interest of the team, says, ki, okay, you become the captain. And that is a different scenario. And then you might take that decision at times. But यहाँ पे वो वाला factor है नहीं, because this best course of action for Nalini. So when you are talking about for Nalini, it is also considering what her career is, where it's going. Request her boss to join, to order Shalini to join the team. See, that part 5 will if the boss orders Shalini to join the team, to Shalini को forcefully join कराओगे, then team working etc. में that might not be very productive. So as a team leader, you might not want to get Shalini into the team in that way, where she does not want to work. ठीक है ना? So that's why I'll not go with 5 there. But देखो, some question में I'll be surprised by the answer. Ki I'm very open about this. Don't come blaming me about it. I'm just doing this as a this thing for all of you, because there were a lot of ambiguities in some answer keys I saw. So I thought I'll give you my version of the logic. And you take, I mean, whatever marks you are assuming, you take them with a pinch of salt. Plus minus 2-3 marks कर लेना, है ना? On that, based on my answers. So अब चलो रमन वाले पे करते हैं. Yeah, I mean, see, इसमें ये नहीं बोला है कि ये अगर बोलता कि to ensure that Shalini is in the team, तब तो ये 3 आंसर हो जाता है ना? So it's very dependent on. So you have to be very clear about what the decision objective was. So decision objective is regarding the inclusion of Shalini. So it's not, the decision objective is not कि Shalini को लेना जरूरी है team. So I'm Nalini. I've been made team leader. Shalini is not wanting to join unless she's made team leader. So I'll go and request her, most logical. I'll go and request her, please reconsider, because the project is important for both. ठीक है ना? I think 4-5 दिन में आ जाना चाहिए manifester. Let's look at 35 onwards. 35 to 37. He wants to take the accepting the role of the project. So those of you who have not seen the case, people who are doing this later or using this to prepare for that 25, 26 and on, you can just pause the video and read the case. I'm assuming all the people who are live here have read the case. So I'm going to question 35 now. So again, before you look at the question, first define what is the decision, who's taking the decision, and what is the decision objective. So decision is, should I accept or not? That's the context. Raman is in that context. Should I accept the leadership of the project or not? Which of the following information, if true, will best assist Raman in accepting the role of the? So the decision he has to do, we are talking about the yes decision. Yes, accept. So we are looking for information that will push him towards yes accepting. Right? तो 5 जो बोल रहे हैं, I would not go with 5. The reason I will not go with 5 is because 2 things. One is they have said that business school is very academically rigorous. And you guys know that also. And second aspect is that when he had taken many projects home and he's taking them to the business school, these are not the same thing. When he was taking the projects home, he was working from home. So he was available on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. यहाँ पे बोल रहा है कि there's no classes during weekday. Suppose you project 6 month project है. Suppose Tuesday को कोई बहुत important issue है जो जो handle करना है और उस टाइम उसका एग्जाम चल रहा है तो क्या करेगा? Right? So 1 5 we can reject. Right? Now the update was expected to take at least 6 months, and he's there only for 3 months. So those of you saying one, I would not go with one. Some project he finished some project ahead of schedule. Can he guarantee that he will finish this ahead of schedule and that too in half the time? Based on this information, I would not go with that. So I would go with 4 here. That even in the previous projects, there were exams that he was giving, and during that time, he was able to hand it over to subordinates to this thing. So he will think that okay, 3 4 months में जितना काम कर सकता हूँ कर देता हूँ मैं. And then after that, if I'm leaving, these people will take over. The subordinates will do it. 2 is also close, but I think 2 is a faulty answer because of the fact that the question says, I mean, these kind of projects are not just about you hire more people and you do it in half the time. It's not like time and work questions in CAT. If the work is going to take 1 year and you double the team, it will happen in 6 months. And you make the team 6 times, it'll happen in 2 months. Agar the update was expected to take at least 6 months to complete, this will have considered the fact that you are hiring decent number of human resources and everything. Right. So that's why I would not go with 2, but two is the closest answer apart from 4. So 2 is the closest answer apart from 4, but I think 4 is a better answer here. 3 is irrelevant. Might advise against the update if he got to know that Raman was leaving soon. The decision objective is accept the leadership role. Right? देखो, more human resource to his team for the next 3 months. Does this guarantee completion? ठीक है, I mean, there might be a case. Again, this is on how the question setter sees this. There might be a chance that he goes with 2. He says that nahi, zyada human resources. I mean, the argument for 2 is clear. More human resources, the work will get completed in less time. Right? So that logic said 2 looks a good answer. Right? And 4 looks, I mean, 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 4, very close to each other. 1 definitely not true. 1 3 5 we can reject. It's between 2 and 4. And yeah, 4 mein he's handing over the responsibility. So this is a very interpretation issue. So ये होता है. I mean, even in comprehension and verbal, etc., what happens is 80 to 90% questions have one clear answer. And there'll be 10% questions, 10-15% questions, which have 2 very close answers. You look at it this way, this looks right, and you look at it that way, that looks right. So the way top solvers solve is that they get 100% accuracy on this. And through their judgment, they get 60 to 70% accuracy on this. So yeah, but I would agree with an argument for 2 also. And I would agree with an argument for 4 also. मेरे को पर्सनली मार्क करना था तो मेरे को 4 ज्यादा अट्रैक्टिव लग रहा है. नहीं, यहाँ पे तो लिखा हुआ है ना, they were successfully completed by subordinates. So what this means is that he took a project and the project completion was done by subordinates. He was not there during his exams. The project was completed by subordinates. So it seems to show that Raman might think that my subordinates, I'll train my subordinates so that even if I'm leaving as a leader, 3 months is a good enough time to train my people so that somebody from them can take over. One of the subordinates can be made the leader. That is what he might think. लेकिन ये थोड़ा contextual हो जाता है कि I mean there might be an argument कि are the subordinates qualified enough to do it, to take leadership positions. So that's why I'm okay with 2 also in this. ठीक है, not a very clear answer between 2 and 4. अभी तक बाकी सब आंसर्स क्लियर थे एकदम. Let's look at 36. 36 में भी काफी डिबेट हुआ मेरे इंटरनल थॉट प्रोसेस में कि व्हाट शुड बी डन. कट ऑफ कितना 6 7 7 8 जाएगा. Yeah, 2 and 4 extremely close in, because if you look at one way, this looks right, the other way heads look right and tails looks right. वो दोनों 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 एंगल से सही दिख रहा है. One, two, three. What can we definitely remove is 4 and 5. What is definitely irrelevant is 4 and 5. Yeah, I marked A only in this initially. I mean, I have not taken the exam. I had solved it yesterday. So I went with A, but there's an argument for B also. There's an argument for C also. But I think A would be the best answer. See, I mean, let's frame this. Who's the decision maker? Who's the decision maker? Whose first person view you have to take? That's Raman. And what is the decision objective? Let's try to phrase this and then try to think about it. The decision objective is to obtain verification. अब मैं बी स्कूल में आ गया हूँ, मेरे को कंपनी से उतना लेना देना नहीं है, लेकिन मेरे को वेरिफिकेशन चाहिए. ये मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव है. तो इसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए मेरे को? इसके लिए द आर्ग्यूमेंट फॉर 3 इज दैट दिस इज द राइट वे टू डू इट. दिस इज the standard legal way to do it. When you want verification of responsibilities, you go to the HR, right? But वहीं पे इसमें interpretation आ जाता है कि what kind of company is this? You go to the HR. The case says that Suraj was Raman's boss. So normally when you go to companies for the HR for verification of roles, responsibilities, etc., the HR will refer it to the boss. बॉस से लिखवाएगा ना, एचआर अपने तरफ से नहीं देगा कि क्या काम करता था, कैसा काम करता था. ये बॉस से लिखाएगा ना. और बॉस गुस्सा है, बॉस उखड़ा हुआ है तुमसे, तुम लड़के निकले हो उससे, तो वो अड़ंगा लगा देगा. लेकिन अगर इस तरह की कंपनी की बहुत बड़ी कंपनी और स्टैंडर्ड है कि मतलब जो जिनका आता है सबको दे देते हैं कि अच्छा तुमने काम किया तो किया, दे देता हूँ वेरिफिकेशन तुम्हारे काम का. इट डज नॉट रियली गो दैट वे. तो इन दैट केस दिस माइट बी द बेस्ट आंसर. या सूरज इज द फाउंडर, तो हर छोटा छोटा चीज थोड़ी देखेगा वो कंपनी में. So that's the other argument. The and I mean, as I said, when I marked my answer to this without discussion with anybody, I marked A in this. But 3 looks good. A में एक डिफेक्ट और है. I mean, I'm not going with any one answer on this. I mean, I would say 1 and 3 both look good for me in this question. What about 2? Yeah, HR logic I get, you can't. So that's why 3 is the possible answer. बट अगेन एज I said, अगर ये HR is going to ask, depends on the company, how the company is, how big the company is, etc., which are factors you've not been talked about, right? So if it's a standard company, huge company, HR के ऊपर लेटर है कि मेरे को वेरिफिकेशन दे दीजिए, HR बिना किसी से पूछ के तुमको वेरिफिकेशन भेज देगा, उस तरह का प्रोसेस है, तब तो ये करोगे। HR बॉस से पूछेगा कि साइन करना है, यू वर द ही वाज रिपोर्टिंग टू यू, तो आप साइन करिए, तब ये केस बेटर हो जाता है ना? तो 1-3, विच मतलब ऊंट किस तरफ बैठेगा ऊंट को ही पता है ना? दे कैन गो विथ 3, दे कैन गो विथ 1। मतलब एक एक फैक्टर है कि ये तो उसको ऐसे भी कर देना चाहिए 1, ही शुड एनीवे डू 1, बिकॉज वो लड़के आया है, बॉस था उसका, बॉस से तो ऐसे लड़के नहीं आते ना। वही दैट्स व्हाट, बॉस का सिग्नेचर जरूरी होगा तब तो ये 1 हो जाएगा आंसर। लेकिन इसमें एक डिफेक्ट और है कि आपको ऑब्टेन वेरिफिकेशन चाहिए ना, ये फैक्टर 1 1, इसलिए इसलिए 1 के अगेंस्ट में हूँ। इसमें अगर बोलता कि रमन शुड राइट अ सिंसियर एंड बेस्ट बेस्ट कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन एक्चुअली इज ही शुड राइट अ सिंसियर एंड प्रोफेशनल अपॉलजी लेटर expressing regret for argument where Raman had with Suraj, and at the same time he should write to the HR for the verification. तो वो बेस्ट आंसर होता, a mix of 1 and 3. So do both together is the best answer. ठीक है, बट चलो इसको मैं एम्बिगस ही छोड़ दूंगा, आई लीव दिस एज अ क्लोज आंसर। ठीक है, 1-3, पीठ में टू बी छुरी मार सकता है लास्ट में। बॉस को ही लिख दो कि सर मेरा आई एम सॉरी अबाउट दिस, सॉरी नहीं लिख रहे हैं इसमें, इसमें सिर्फ रोल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बोल रहे हैं और अप्रूवल कर रहे हैं, तो टू टू अनलाइकली है। या सो 3 3 में वेरिफिकेशन उसने कुछ बोला ही नहीं है ना, सिर्फ लेटर ऑफ अपोलॉजी लिख रहे हैं, तो लेटर ऑफ अपोलॉजी से वेरिफिकेशन नहीं आएगा ना, so that's why 3 looks better. Yeah, that's why I wanted this to be a discussion. I'm not throwing answers at you. I want it to be a discussion, and based on that we can come up with intelligent thought processes. तो वन में there is no movement. What the problem with 1 is that there is no movement towards verification. It's just an apology letter. The decision objective is very clear. You want an apology, you want the verification. हाँ, लेकिन apologize is a general apology you should have given anyway, not for this objective. The objective is shifting it to 3. The more I think about it, the more I like 3. लेकिन अगेन एज I said, बहुत बहुत ही दिस थिंग है, बिकॉज 3 करोगे तो लाइकली है कि 1 का जरूरत होगा बिफोर यू डू 3। Apologize because of the fact that of what the case conditions are given. केस कंडीशन यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है, when Raman expressed inability to continue. Suraj felt betrayed. This led to a series of heated arguments between them, and they swore to never work together again. This is the reason you should apologize. Yeah. So I would go with three, given the decision objective. अगर decision objective filter लगाओगे तो three आना चाहिए इसमें. Yeah, that's what I said. पीठ पे छुरा मारने वाला two option है. जब तुम एकदम expect नहीं कर रहे हो, that is when somebody stabs you in the back. चलो आगे चलते हैं, आगे डिस्कशन करते हैं. जो क्लियर है उसको तो निकाल लेते हैं एटलीस्ट, फिर उतना एम्बिग्यूटी रखना अपने थॉट प्रोसेस में कि चलो ये वाले क्वेश्चंस में we'll release the answer key with this thing only. So 37 with these this thing 1 3 wala angle etc. So 37th, which is now your यहाँ पे object decision objective in this case is, इसका आंसर काफी क्लियर है. The decision objective in this case is you want to help substantiate the additional responsibilities Raman undertook. तो इसका आंसर 2 रहेगा. Because this does it, you really don't need to go to the company much. I mean, ultimately, who gives you testimony about what your work is? Your bosses give you, and your co-workers and your teammates give you, and your juniors give you. So यहाँ पे बहुत clear है to answer. I don't think there's anything close apart from 2. Right? चलो thankfully एक question तो सही है, मतलब simple है, straight है, with no this thing. So let's go to Kasta. Prabhu's rates. Again, those of you who have not seen this can read the case. Pause the video, read the case, and then I mean, of course, I'm assuming all those of you who are live here have read the case. So I'm not giving you time to read the case, but for the sake of the benefit of the value of the video, I'm stopping on the case for a bit, so that somebody who's watching this to understand how to do DM in XAT can. पता नहीं, मैं बहुत फॉलो नहीं करता इन सब चीज़ों को. जब आना है आ ही जाएगा. मेरे सोचने नहीं सोचने से आई पर्सनली बिलीव कि जो अपने कंट्रोल में उसको करो. तो एंड ब्रिंग क्वालिटी इनटू व्हाट यू कंट्रोल. नहीं, यहाँ पे आई वुड डिफर ऑन 2. Random guy, random issues and random thoughts is given a really random experience. So it was pretty standard. The DM was pretty standard. इसी तरह का रहता है. Did your boss give you did you get the experience certificate? यहाँ पे my answer would be 1 year. I mean, कहीं भी मतलब you go to a shop, you go to a restaurant, वहाँ पे सूप का दाम 200 से 220 कर दिया है. And तुम as a customer, which of the following facts will help you accepting the increase? The cost of living. I mean, your regular customers, I mean, you go to, I mean, let's say your society gives you an increased maintenance bill. My price has gone from 3 rupees to 3 rupees 20 paise per square feet that you are living in. Right? So what will help you accept it? What argument will help you accept it? This is fine. The cost of living, nahi? The quality of service is not the first thing. See, the objective is very clear. You want to help Prabhu's customers in accepting the increase. So in this case, the first person is the customer of Prabhu. Put yourself in that guy's place. And then you say, okay, context is price increase. And should I accept it or not? So what happens is when they say which of the following facts will help, then you assume that the fact is true. अच्छा, तो मिल गया तुमको सब कुछ? बॉस के थ्रू मिला कि कि एचआर के थ्रू मिला, ये बता दो। उसी पे वो आंसर डिपेंड करेगा। मे बी द आंसर इज इन योर केस ओनली। सो वन आएगा इसका आंसर। आई एम प्रीटी क्लियर। आई विल बी वेरी 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 सरप्राइज्ड इफ they give anything else. One be factor, two be factor. I mean, all these are assumed as facts, right? यहाँ पे unsaid है, which of the following facts, if true, will best help Prabhu's regular customers in accepting the increase in fare. Yeah. So one will be the best way. Punctual and reliable हो तो वो तो कर ही रहे हो तुम, तो फेयर क्यों बढ़ा रहे हो? मेरा argument as the customer, that might be my argument. ठीक है? So let's go to 39th. 39th में I would go with 2. But again, the backstabbing one is there inside this. See, the logic for 2, if I read the case, this thing is that, I mean, the objective, what is the decision objective? Again, who's the first person in whose shoes you have to put yourself in? You have to put yourself in Prabhu's shoes, right? He's the first person here. And what is the objective? Retain revenue flow. Retain revenue flow. What has happened? Price increase हुआ है, उससे उसका revenue increase हो गया है. Revenue was promising in the beginning, especially from steel plant's official trips, from the official trips. But he started losing the private bookings. So the only problem with 2 is a 50% discount being talked about. So what has happened is one-way charge was 2200 and he's increased his charges by 30%. So it has now become 2860. Two-way charges was 3000. It's now become 3900. If he gives a 50% discount, these charges are going to come to 1400 and 1900. So he's earning less than what he was earning earlier also. Right? It's less, he's earning less than. So will that retain his revenue or will it reduce his revenue? So if you start thinking a little bit more in this, if you start thinking a little bit more, a little bit extra in this, is once you start giving this discount for private trips, these discounts are being offered to the same customers. They are working in that steel plant. So then the information will go into the steel plants, this thing also. The information will go to the steel plants, into the steel plants offices also. And then the decision makers will say कि बाहर के लोगों को, हम ही लोग को 1400 में दे रहा है ट्रिप और हमसे कंपनी में 2800 चार्ज कर रहा है, तो हम लोग नहीं देंगे इसको. ठीक है, ये तो और अनसस्टेनेबल है. ऑलरेडी 30% बढ़ा, फिर और प्रीमियम चार्ज करोगे स्टील प्लांट ऑफिशियल ट्रिप्स के लिए, तो ये तो दिस थिंग है. तो दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम विद 2. If this had been a 20% discount, I would have absolutely no answer, nothing against this answer. But still 2 makes better sense than everything else. 2 would be a perfect answer with 20% discount. With 50% discount, this argument goes against 2. But does it go that much that 1 becomes the answer? Because nothing else is working, right? 3 is not sustainable. 4 is also this thing. Yeah, the ambiguity in two is created by that 50%. That's what is creating the ambiguity. So my answer here would be two with that backstabbing one. या देखो, वन के लिए एक आर्गुमेंट है फॉर वन. The argument for one is that, see, what he's doing is increase prices. से क्या किया है उसमें, क्यों किया increase prices? He suffered losses during the COVID period. It is not saying that his price of delivering that service has gone up. So if he charges 2,200, it, according to the case facts, it's still a profit for him. So क्या तुम आज के कस्टमर को एज अ टैक्सी सर्विस ड्राइवर, एज अ टैक्सी सर्विस एजेंसी, आज के कस्टमर को 3 साल पुराना लॉसेस उसके उसके माथे डाल सकते हो क्या तुम? So that is what is supporting one. As I said, with a 20% discount, because increased price तो accept हो गया है, उसका revenue flow भी बढ़ गया है उसके कारण. 20% discount यहाँ रहता तो there would be no ambiguity about two. So let's put one or two inside this. It's one of these two answers. Because इसमें no, whether the question setter will think that much and hence mark one, that I can't judge. Because टू के साथ मेरे को प्रॉब्लम ये दिख रहा है. मैं 1400 में उसी कंपनी के ऑफिसर को पर्सनल ट्रिप के लिए टैक्सी दे रहा हूँ. मैं 1900 में उसी कंपनी के ऑफिसर को रिटर्न रिटर्न वो दे रहा हूँ. आई एम गिविंग अ रिटर्न टैक्सी to the airport and back in 1900. And then I tell him the next day that you're going official, so now you pay 3,900. ठीक है? 3 does not make sense because of the fact that he's losing customers. He's losing customers. That much is given. So he has to retain revenue flow. Let's go 40. 40 के लिए I'll go with 5. I would go with 5 and 40. Because the decision objective here in 40, the decision objective is to help his cause. What is his cause? He wants to retain the company. He wants to retain the company. So what is happening? He's being challenged by this other guy who's giving cheaper services. So a company like that steel plant that is being talked about, and all these cases are about Tata Steel and Jamshedpur. Right? See, the question is not what he should do. The question is which are the following reasons. So Prabhu has to give a reason. This is not a reason. So 4 नहीं होगा. This is an action. So 4 is not a reason. You have to give a reason to Mr. Manoj, to the Saroj, to Mr. Saroj. So when you talk about reason to Saroj, there are only two options, 1 and 5. Yeah, 2 and 3 are definitely wrong. One also looks okay here again. I mean, I will not be surprised with one as the answer. There's also a two-way. Again, depends on how they perceive this. That's what I told you. I mean, अगर 21 questions हैं तो 15 plus questions में तुमको no ambiguity मिलेगा, 5-6 questions में तुमको मिलेगा कि two answers close है. Why might not? I mean, see, ethical है कि नहीं यहाँ पे ethics की बात नहीं है. You are Mr. Prabhu, put yourself in the first person. Put yourself in the first person, and then you are talking about helping my cause. What reason will help my cause? And one के against एक argument है. Suppose I tell Saroj that Manoj's offer is not sustainable. तो सरोज विल से कि ठीक है सस्टेनेबल नहीं है तो मेरे को क्या है अभी वो मेरे को फ्री कम में दे रहा है तो आई एम टेकिंग दिस क्वालिटी इज डिसेंट मैं अभी भी ले रहा हूँ उससे जब वो सस्टेनेबल नहीं है बढ़ा देगा तब देखता हूँ तब तुम आना मेरे पास तो एज ए कंपनी मेरे को क्या बॉदरेशन है सस्टेनेबल है कि नहीं आज मेरे को मिल रहा है ना आज आई एम सेविंग कॉस्ट इन माई ट्रिप्स टुमारो आई एम सेविंग कॉस्ट इन माई ट्रिप्स फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 months आई एम सेविंग कॉस्ट so is it sustainable? I don't that doesn't it's not something that I'm bothered about. So this if Prabhu comes up with this argument, Saroj will might react that way. है ना? So Saroj will say that ठीक है, I mean that let me take care of that. So 5 looks better in that context because if I have to help my cause is that I want to stop this push that Manoj is giving against me and pushing this. He's doing this low price just to push me out of business in the steel plant. So if I mention this point, then for the decision maker, I mean, whom am I trying to convince? Trying to convince Saroj. For the decision maker, this will be a very important aspect. It's a company. For the decision maker, this will be very important context. Right? And then again, you imagine, I mean, a company, a steel plant, running a business in crores, thousands of crores. Their travel bills, unless they are facing some real cash crunch, which is unlikely in a traditional firm like this. The travel bills may be barely 0.1% of their cost. Will they be so bothered about cost or quality? We are not inferring this. This is part of the case. Now, see, the question is not about ethical. The question is the reason that I should give, as if I'm Prabhu, my reason to best help my cause. So that's one of the reason I will go with 5 because my focus will be on convincing Saroj. So give him a reason to continue with me. That sir आप दूसरे के पास जा रहे हो सस्ता दे रहा है आपको लेकिन उसका क्वालिटी नहीं है वो राइट ऑफिशियल ट्रिप्स में वुमेन सेफ्टी इश्यू कैसे नहीं है मोक्ष कैन बी वन यस कैन बी वन बट आई वुड गो विथ 5 इन दिस मेरे को 5 का आर्गुमेंट स्ट्रॉन्गर लग रहा है प्लीज टेक एवरीथिंग विद अ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट आई नो there might be some errors in what I am deciding on. ऑफिशियल ट्रिप्स में वुमेन नहीं जाती हैं अकेले What about a girl executive who's flying off to Delhi from Jamshedpur going to the Ranchi airport? अकेली जा रही, रात को फ्लाइट है 8 बजे उसका. शी नीड्स सेफ्टी ना. And there's so many people who would be going, coming. You want safety. And his reputation, he's got this reputation. Few of his colleagues, now colleagues के बात करेगा, colleagues क्या बोलेगा उससे? Is Prabhu sure that the colleagues will say good things about him? One is also good, but I think five is better. Because again, as I said, if Saroj is given this argument that Manoj's offer is not sustainable, if Saroj is given that argument that Manoj's offer is not sustainable, so Saroj might come back to and tell me that I'm not so bothered about how sustainable it is. So what helps me best, my cause best, if I put this argument across, the fifth argument. ठीक है. एम्बिग्यूटी रहेगा, अराउंड 5 क्वेश्चन में एम्बिग्यूटी रहेगा, बाकी सब देखोगे तो वी हैव क्लियर आंसर्स मोस्टली. I think we have had 4 or 5 questions in which there have been ambiguity, otherwise mostly clear answers. I'll do one more case and we'll stop with that, and remaining answers we'll release. या देख लेते हैं कितना कर सकते हैं. Again, what is the decision objective? The decision objective here is the additional information which will help her the most in taking the right decision. So what is the decision she is faced? She is facing the decision of buying a diplomatico SUV. That's the decision she's facing. Right? So the most relevant additional piece of information here will be two. Yeah, very clear answer. Because you got somebody you trust. You got somebody who's an authority in that. He's got knowledge. तुम अपना car experience, car buying experience खोज देख लो अपने family में. Your uncle tells you that ये वाली गाड़ी अच्छी नहीं है, and he's somebody who knows about cars. So that information you take very seriously. So यहाँ पे two बहुत clear है. 4 भी है issue, but we don't know whether she goes to those areas or not, does not go to those areas, etc. उसका travel कहाँ पे होता है, etc. We don't know those things. So that's why 4 will not be right. 2 is the correct answer in this. And for this one, again, let me just show the case for people who are going to watch this video without the questions. नहीं, staying in a metro city does not make an effect in this case, brother वाला केस में. 2 ही रहेगा उसका आंसर. और ये इसका भी बहुत क्लियर आंसर है. बताओ कौन सा है? What is the objective here? Shyam is thinking recover 1900 from Vinita. This is what Shyam is thinking. And we have to find a pair of reasons which will stop him from recovering. So Vinita has a wide network. And if he maintains the current volume, he might be able to persuade Diplomatica to write off the amount, CNE, very clearly. Right? Anything else is wrong thinking. Yeah. So some of these institutes have given answers for this, have given 2 as the answer, which is actually a kuch bhi kind of answer. Doesn't work at all. Next one. Now, in this question, Vinita has to justify herself. You want a rationale for Vinita. So this is, in this case, You put yourself in Vinita's position, and Vinita has this argument for herself. I should not pay 19,000 to Sham. I should not pay 19,000 to Sham. Right? So I would go with two again here. ठीक है, तुम्हारे स्कीम में नहीं था, लेकिन इस तरह के एसयूवी मेरे को तो मिलना चाहिए था। मैंने जितने एक्सपेंसिव एसयूवी लिए, बाकी डीलर्स तो दे रहे हैं। ये हमेशा मिलता है। दिस वेरी वेरी स्टैंडर्ड, ऐसा कोई आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड नहीं है ये जो तुमने मुझे दिया है। See, this might be a brand issue and this might be a price issue of the brand. A Mercedes SUV will always be more costly than a Hyundai SUV. So that's why one does not work. है ना? Two is very clear in this case. I would be very, very surprised, very, very, very surprised if any other option comes out to be true. Right? Last couple of cases. Why not three there? Three, matlab, two is a much stronger one. Previous one, why not B and E? So सॉफ्टवेयर एरर है, इसलिए मेरे को विनीता से पैसे वापस नहीं लेने चाहिए। तो बी क्यों रहेगा उसमें? बी का कोई 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 लॉजिक नहीं है उसमें। ओके, सो दिस इज द नेक्स्ट केस, एबीसी बिजनेस स्कूल। अंदर अंडर द ब्रिज फालतू है एक्चुअली। 3 महीने पहले हुआ, 6 महीने पहले हुआ। इफ यू बीन रॉन्ग, यू बीन रॉन्ग, और इफ समथिंग इज रॉन्ग, इट डज नॉट मीट। मतलब तुमने कहीं से तुमको तुम सपोज किसी दुकान में गए, तुमने एक आइटम खरीदा वहां से और तुमको उसने चार्ज नहीं किया। 3 महीने बाद तुम रियलाइज किया कि उसके लिए चार्ज नहीं किया, तो तुम पैसे देना चाहते हो उसको, तो नहीं दोगे क्योंकि 3 महीने बीत गए ना। डजंट वर्क। ओके। इसका 3। I'll go to the goal one also. इसका बेस्ट आंसर लुक्स लाइक 3। We want a reason. We again want a reason not to worry about pandering to these alumni. ठीक है? So with the alumni, you got a kind of a team effect. So if these alumni also depend on my success, on the business school success. So इसका 3 रहेगा। 45 रैंकिंग के लिए अप्लाई नहीं करना चाहिए। तो यहाँ पे द केस effect, the case logic is important. The case logic is that part of the case logic is very important to understand in this question. ये अगर देखोगे, the organization, so he is bothered about the organizations who are recruiting from, right? So they did not really care for the talent, but they wanted loyal and obedient employees. So, and obviously they want stable employees in that context, right? You don't want somebody who's coming and going. So 3 अगर ट्रू है, the alumni are aware that ABC offers a retainable talent pool. देखो, टॉप 40 में नहीं है वो तो पहले भी केस में भी पता है। इट्स अ नॉट वेल नोन स्कूल, इट्स अ रीजनल स्कूल। तो इसलिए टॉप 40 में नहीं आऊंगा, इसलिए फिर से नहीं अप्लाई करूं। ये भी मेरे को थोड़ा सा लगा था कि 4 डेज में कंप्लीट हो गया था प्रीवियस ईयर, विच मीन्स की प्लेसमेंट का कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। नहीं, एलुमनाई डिड नॉट फॉलो रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन इन जनरल, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन का क्या रोल है? रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन का रोल है कि योर रैंकिंग विल गो अप। द रैंकिंग इज इन द मैगजीन्स। हाँ, ये थोड़ा टफ था। तो वन एंगल से 4 भी ठीक है। 1 तो डेफिनेटली नहीं होगा। इट्स आइदर 3 और 4। आई वुड गो विथ 3, बट देयर कुड बी अ चांस ऑफ 4 ऑल्सो इन दिस। नहीं, मैं डायरेक्टर हूँ ना, तो मैं अगर डायरेक्टर हूँ फर्स्ट पर्सन, मैं डायरेक्टर हूँ, शुड आई वरी अबाउट अप्लाइंग फॉर रैंकिंग्स? क्या कंसिडरेशन होगा मेरे माइंड में? बाकी लोग क्यों अप्लाई कर रहे हैं? क्यों अप्लाई कर रहे हैं? बिकॉज उनका विजिबिलिटी अमंग कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेज एंड रिक्रूटर्स बढ़ेगा रैंकिंग से। तो मेरे को भी अप्लाई करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए? दैट्स व्हाट आई एम थिंकिंग। राइट? सो the reason why I will stop worrying about applying is because somebody or some fact assures me that I am not bothered so much about placement. Placement तो मेरा हो जाएगा आराम से। एंड प्लेसमेंट alumni के थ्रू होता है, ये भी लिखा हुआ है काफी। So that's why 3 looks the best answer here. But again, I'm looking for a fact that I'm not bothered about placement. So अगर 4 दिन में placement हो गया था लास्ट ईयर, लेकिन इसके इसके अगेंस्ट मतलब दिस थोड़ा सा वेग है ये आंसर फोर्थ वाला। ठीक है ना? थोड़ा थोड़ा सा वेग है, बट बट फोर्थ वाला थोड़ा सा वेग है। बट अगेन, पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ द क्वेश्चन सेटर, ही माइट से दैट 4 इज द बेस्ट वे, because not all the placements are with alumni. So there are some facts in the case which are also ambiguous कि alumni से कितना placement होता है, कितना placement बाहर की कंपनी से होता है, एक्सेट्रा। नहीं, वो रीजन नहीं है। रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन में alumni ध्यान नहीं देते, वो रीजन नहीं है, क्योंकि रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन तुम क्यों कर रहोगे? रैंकिंग बढ़ाने के लिए। रैंकिंग के लिए चाहिए। तुम ये नहीं बोल रहे हो कि alumni को दिखाना रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन। ठीक है? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। इसका आंसर बहुत क्लियर है, 4। यू वांट द फैकल्टी टू स्टॉप कंप्लेनिंग अबाउट स्टूडेंट अटेंडेंस। ये कर दो, अटेंडेंस का इशू खत्म हो जाएगा, पीपल स्टार्ट अटेंडिंग। और ये बहुत क्लियर है कि स्टूडेंट्स भी प्लेसमेंट के लिए आ रहे हैं वहां पे। सो दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली डिपेंड्स। ऐसा डीटीएम अच्छा है नहीं है, वो बहुत तुम्हारे लाइफ स्टेज पे डिपेंड करता है, वेदर यू कैन गेट टू अ बेटर स्कूल। मैं तो कुछ लोग को बोलता है लखनऊ अच्छा नहीं है तुम्हारे लिए, और कुछ लोग को बोलूंगा कि ऐसा डीटीएम भी बहुत अच्छा है तुम्हारे लिए। सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर यू आर एंड व्हाट लेवल यू आर एट, एक्सेट्रा। चलो लास्ट कर लेते हैं, फिर बंद करते हैं। 47th। 47th का बहुत सारा एंगल है। 85% खतरनाक है, हाँ। डिजिटल ऑनलाइन ऑनलाइन अटेंडेंस अलाउड है कि नहीं, वो पूछ लेना उनसे। 47 में मेरे को ये भी लगा। I'll tell you the reason. The thought process I used was this, that there's a clause. Fact of the case, context of the case is there's a clause. डीएम कट ऑफ 7-8 मार्क्स रहेगा, उससे ऊपर कहाँ रहेगा? 7-7 मार्क्स, 7.5, 8 मार्क्स। ए बी डी भी मेरे को बहुत क्लोज लगा। बट लेट्स अप्लाई आवर प्रिंसिपल। देयर इज अ क्लॉज। द क्लॉज इज वन वॉल्व Level 3. The clause is one wall malfunctions, all replaced in level 3. One wall malfunctions, all to be replaced. And accepting this is a clause in this thing. So if you see what has happened in the case, in the sub case, they have proposed a maintenance package. And this maintenance package says that whenever a wall at level 3 malfunctions, all walls will be at that level will be replaced. And accepting will cause a significant premium. So this is a maintenance package. And accepting will cause a significant premium. ठीक है? So the question here is combination of information that will help in accepting the clause. And who's the first person here? The first person here is the management. The management of Deep Sea is making a decision. ठीक है? तो डिस्काउंट वाला एंगल तो हम लोग हटा सकते हैं, बिकॉज डिस्काउंट तब आप चाहोगे ना जब 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 आपको उस प्रोडक्ट की जरूरत है. सो द फर्स्ट फोकस इज ऑन डू यू नीड द प्रोडक्ट. उसके बाद प्राइस की बात होती है ना. प्रोडक्ट जरूरत ही नहीं है, क्यों खरीदूंगा मैं. राइट. So what information supports that I need this product? The walls are known to malfunction. And any malfunction in one wall results in leakage from the neighboring walls. So this supports the fact that if one wall malfunctions, all should be replaced. Now, इसको support D कर रहा है कि E कर रहा है. D is also good support. E also looks like a good support. So according to that, 1 or 2 पे जाएगा answer. Anything with C, I will remove. Because if I don't want a product, why will I talk about discounts? कोई मेरे को पुचका वाला बोलता है कि मेरे से डिस्काउंट में पुचका ले लो, मैं पुचका खाता ही नहीं हूं, तो है ना. So इसलिए anything with C I'll remove. So A B D or A B E. This is a fact of the case. This as a company, I want the job to be taken care of. It's a difficult job. I don't want my operations to get affected. तो करने दो उनको काम. That's a good point. Kesri, very good point. Level 3 wall was below the seabed, not near. So that rejects E. Actually, it rejects E. बहुत बढ़िया से फंसाया हुआ उन्होंने यहाँ पे. ABD, yes. I'll go with ABD now. 1. बहुत बढ़िया फंसाया उन्होंने. The case tells us level 3 is part under the seabed. Level 3 is the part under the seabed. Near the seabed बोला है इसने. यहाँ पे 47 में, तो एबीडी रहेगा फिर, एबीडी वर्क्स। या गुड गुड रीडिंग ऑफ द केस, कॉन्टेक्स्ट से चेंज हो रहा है। 48, you want to publicly reject the appeal. Fifth is the answer. This is quite clear. No, the cost clause will cost a significant premium, and it is a concern. But do you need that clause or not? Is the key factor, Santosh. If you don't need the clause, तो एक पैसा भी क्यों दोगे उसके लिए? Forget the premium. इसमें कोई confusion नहीं है, A5 है, very clearly in 48. And the last question, you have to reject the proposal. इसलिए 4 क्यों नहीं? आप रोज रोज प्रोक्यूरमेंट थोड़ी करते हैं उसका, वॉल्व तो एक ही बार लगेगा, उसके बाद फिर आई मीन दैट्स अप टू द कंपनी। And you have to publicly reject the appeal, na? The appeal is from the NGO. What is the objective? Publicly reject the appeal. तो इसका 5 है आंसर, लास्ट वाले का 4 होगा। यस, दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी क्लियर। सो चार पांच क्वेश्चन है जिसमें दो आंसर्स आ रहे हैं। 4 5 questions are there in which there are two answers. Otherwise, I think 15 16 questions you can almost check. I mean, maybe one or two of them might surprise us, but normally all the ones in which I've talked about, this should be the right answer. It's normally, I mean, this may be just for this question. Anything else? Not five, sorry. इसका 4 है answer. Anything else does not make sense to me in this. What is the objective? The objective is to reject the proposal. The safe valve has given a proposal, and I want to reject the proposal. What observation is helpful in rejecting the proposal? My problem is not so much leakages. Leakages से क्या होता है? Leakages से I lose, there's some loss of gas. But my basic problem is bloat. आरसीज में कल कल करता हूँ, कल कल परसों करता हूँ आरसीज, और आरसीज और वो बिल को थोड़ा सा मेरे को, मैंने बनाया उसके आंसर की, लेकिन मेरे को थोड़ा सा उसको एक बार रिवैल्यूएट करना है, एक सेकंड थॉट देना है बिफोर आई कम अप विद दैट। चलो, थैंक यू सो मच, इट वाज अ प्लेजर बीइंग विद ऑल ऑफ यू, एंड आई विल बी बैक सून, एंड we'll be having a lot of this. I'm going to solve the CAT papers also for you. इसका क्वांट भी सॉल्व कर दूंगा मैं तुम लोग के लिए कल परसों में। थैंक्स एवरीवन, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग इन, बाय बाय। स्कोर वर्सेस परसेंटाइल, आई थिंक लास्ट ईयर से 3 या 4 मार्क कम होगा। 99 परसेंटाइल 43 पे, लास्ट ईयर इस साल 39 40 पे रहेगा। डीएम पे आई थिंक ग्रेट स्कोर विल बी 13 14, a good score will be around 10 11 12, right? And score versus percentile, मैंने last year का percentile, मतलब I have not seen the this thing. I'll release that. I'll do a video for that. I'll have to look at the XAT. I mean, two things very frankly, I've not really compared this year's paper to last year's paper because I didn't take both those papers. इसको तो मैंने solve किया आज और कल, so रिलेटिव डिफिकल्टी सॉल्व करने से ही पता चलता है। सो गेस करके बोलूं तो 2 3 मार्क कम है लास्ट ईयर से, राइट? सो 95 परसेंटाइल अप्रोक्सीमेटली 35 के आसपास एक्सपेक्ट करना चाहिए, बट मे बी आई कम अप विद सेकंड थॉट ऑन दैट। थोड़ा सा मैं लास्ट ईयर के आंसर की ये मार्कशीट्स को देख लूँ और पेपर को थोड़ा देख लूँ, फिर बताता हूँ। चलो, थैंक यू सो मच। Bye bye, everybody. It was a pleasure being with all of you. Bye bye.